Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT. And what a ride we've had today. What a fantastic day we've all sat here together because we can't do anything because we're under quarantine. I'm losing my mind, I'm just bored as hell. It is finals of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. We have two incredible duelists for you today, both playing decks that I did not expect to make it to finals. One of them is, you know, a good friend of mine, and the other is Giant Skyhawk. That's the way it goes. Giant Skyhawk is playing Paleozoic Dino, a deck that he has piloted to a ton of finishes at a ton of events. A really storied, intelligent, well-rounded player. His opponent, Luscious Mustard, just put on a clinic of playing Mermail in 2020. So I'm going to let him know that I am prepared for them to start, and we will get right into the finals of this tournament. For those of you who are interested in what's happened so far, don't worry. All the top 8 decks are going to be uploaded probably to my stream over the course of the next couple of days, along with some detailed breakdowns for the event. I'd like to make a little bit of free content out of hosting this thing. All right, so without further ado, I believe they are just about ready to get started. All right, let me pop you over there now. All right, so let me make sure I have them on the right side. That should work. All right. So we've got Luscious Mustard on Mermail. This is the deck we just saw Luscious slap peeps around with. An opening Deep Sea Diva is pretty critical to success. So, the first thing that'll happen is Deep Sea Diva is going to search this Neptabyss, and then Neptabyss is going to send Goons. Goons is going to activate Goons, or send Goons, get Mullen Glacia. That's how it works. Next, we're going to activate the effect of Mermail Abyss Megalo, sending the Goons, and what else? I don't know. The Marksman. Is Marksman mandatory? That's interesting. It is. Alright, so Marksman is going to destroy nothing, at the very least good for chain blocking. And from this position, there are so many things this deck can do. We talked a little bit about some of the new additions to the deck that it's gotten in Duel Overload. A lot of these decks, like Raid Raptor Lunalight, which failed to convert at all, have unbelievable improved matchups as a result of new cards released in Duov. This one just gets Halqifibrax, and that's likely good enough. So speaking of Halqifibrax, Lapis Dragon is a very easy way to make it. It turns any additional search into a potential Halqifibrax, but based on the hand, it looks like Luscious Mustard is deciding, no, actually, Abyss Glacia is more important. UCT and Extravagance. Yikes, those are two really good ones out of the hand of Giant Skyhawk. Now, one thing about Giant Skyhawk's list in particular is that it's so focused around summoning things like Overraptor under Lost World, that something like an Abyss Megalo that contains a Biscale of the Mizuchi might spell the end of the line for Skyhawk. It's not like he has a whole bunch of other stuff to be activating, and we're going from Halqifibrax into Appaloosa. Wow, what a setup. Okay, Skyhawk, what do you got? Well, first is another pot of Extravagance. And that's the real skill involved in playing any stun deck. Alright, so from this position, there's a ton that they can do, and Fossil Dig is just about the start to every winning line imaginable. So Fossil Dig is going to go ahead and get a copy of Miscellaneousaurus. What an absolute unbelievable rip. A second Fossil Dig! Stop! For a second Miscellaneousaurus, the hand is that good? So we know 2 miss in hand. I assume we're going to go ahead and normal summon Overraptor, activate its effect. I assume that Appaloosa will chain Miscellaneousaurus in response. And unfortunately, Appaloosa is once per chain, so as a result, not going to be able to negate that Miscellaneousaurus. and afterwards not going to be able to negate that Soul-Eating Oviraptor. With the knowledge that that was the line my opponent was pursuing, I maybe wouldn't even use Appaloosa to negate this Oviraptor. And then another Miscellaneousaurus, because of course it's not once per turn. That's very funny. Wow, are we just going for lethal? One thing that we saw in the previous match specifically is that when it comes to the new versions of Atlantean, and it's always kind of been like this, but it's exacerbated now, it really doesn't have a way to play if they crack your board. You know, if you lose your Molenglacia, a lot of your removal is just attacking, so losing the battle phase really does hurt you in ways that other decks don't care about. In a lot of ways, Giant Skyhawk is playing a deck very similar to Peeps's in that it can win out of nowhere by just attacking with big chonkuses, but it's different insofar as it can rebuild. All it takes is one Oviraptor, and this deck is back on its feet, whereas Peeps needs at least 2 cards to overlay for a rank 10. Ooh, and it looks like a Twin Twister was the set card. Boy, that is not the card you want to be twin twisting! Oh, Survival's End! Oh, it was completely dead on board, but Twin Twister has given it new life in the graveyard. You could banish this card and target a dino monster you control and the card your opponent controls to destroy them. Why don't you just fire it now? Yeah, it's just, don't even activate Neptibus the Atlantean Prince. You will not get to. Yeah, and that's the end of the turn. Whoa! Alright, I mean, that's it. Any monster closes this one up, and Soul-Eating Oviraptor is just about as good as it gets. A quick game 1 for Giant Skyhawk. My word. Soul-Eating Oviraptor just closing every door here. Ideally, I think they're going to send a copy of a Giant Rex to the graveyard. Oh, nope, a Miscellaneousaurus to hand. No respect whatsoever. We will just go to battle phase, and if worse comes to worse, we'll activate the Miscellaneousaurus. Wow. Okay, well, time for game 2, I suppose. Skyhawk just cleaning house, but remember, this is how Peeps' set started. He did an OTK out of nowhere through disruption, game 1 of his set, and then lost in a best of 3 versus Luscious. I mean, Luscious has the unreal ability to pivot combo lines into things that are more applicable, and now that he knows specifically what Skyhawk is trying to do, he's not going to make the same mistakes again. He's not going to be blind MSTing set cards, you know? And it's going to decrease the availability of a lot of Skyhawk's removal as a result. Like, think of how that game plays out if Skyhawk doesn't have access to the Survival's End in Graveyard. Then UCT has to activate its effect to destroy the Soul-Eating Oviraptor to flip that Neptibus face down, and Luscious is potentially afforded a whole extra turn. Alright, we are running it back, and we're starting with a Moray of Greed this time. Moray of Greed. One of the weirdest cards in Luscious's deck, but you gotta play it for scenarios like this where you open double goons and no way to turn them on. Neptibus again! Luscious has drawn Neptibus 5 times now! Wow! I mean, I understand the whole deck is centered around finding Neptibus, but I still reserve the right to be mad about it. Going for the infinite impermanence. Oh, yuck! Skyhawk's either about to learn a very important lesson, or unfortunately, just doesn't have the resources in hand to play through everything. So Neptibus will be negated, but he sends for cost like Kaleido Chick, and as a result will be able to use goons to get a copy of Abyss Megalo to hand. It feels bad to end up in these scenarios, but they happen so frequently. Abyss Megalo will trigger, I think likely, yeah, we're going to see another goons. Did he shuffle 2 goons just to have a third one in his hand? Yikes. Okay, we're going to go Goons and Heavy Infantry. Of course, it is mandatory. And we'll Abyss Megalo as well to get an Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi. You know, that would have come in handy last game. I think maybe we'll see this game Mustard pivoting to a line that includes activating it. All right, there's Abysslacia. Oh, boy. And here we go. Pot of Avarice. Whoa, this card's insane in this deck. Whoa, I never thought about it. This deck puts 5 monsters in the graveyard like it's nothing. I mean, its main combo line requires you to do so. So playing the card that draws you cards after you activate Molenglacia's effect, I mean, it seems like a perfect fit. Now, if this is the end of the turn, it's going to seem a little less strong. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no, that is not enough. So Abyss Lacia is at most 1 disruption, and Mizuchi is a completely telegraphed spell negate. Even if that set card is Solemn Judgment, this is going to be rough unless Skyhawk is absolutely bricked. Pankratops seems nuts right now. He's going to force the Abyss Glacia, or at least pop it. Whoa. Was the infip really that important? I can't imagine. And Mustard thinking about this. I mean, it's a hard sell to just fire Lacia blind. If you don't, Skyhawk is just going to fire Pankratops, destroy Lacia, and your Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi. That's all your interactions, say, for this set card gone immediately. This is a Monka S moment for sure. Going for Miscellaneousaurus. He's past priority. Neither player has blinked, and we're going to start with Misk. And we're going to normal summon this copy of Oviraptor and activate the effect. I mean, with Misk active, oh boy, this seems really bad. And with Misk in graveyard and Pankratops on field, you can very easily find the necessary material for Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. You might not even have to use the effect of Pankratops to clear the board. Oh, looks like instead he's gone for a Giant Rex. Could be either a UCT in hand already or going to banish it plus the Miscellaneousaurus for a copy of, Baby Sarasaurus. If that's the case, you know, you would also have to jump through some hoops, popping Pankratops potentially, in order to have a necessary dinosaur monster in graveyard. Whoa. Whoa. There is Baby Sarasaurus. And there's Giant Rex. That is 4 summons for those of you counting at home. And here's the Lacia activation, but it's so late. It's so late. We're already under Miscellaneousaurus. I don't actually think there's even a relevant target, yeah. Oh, gosh. From this position, I may be even thinking of blind panking that set card. It looks like Skyhawk is thinking similarly. Yeah, it's the only unknown. I mean, it's the only thing that could throw a wrench in the plan outside of Nibiru. And it's Twin Twister. Not enough. Alright, so we're going to go for a Soul Eating Oviraptor on this Baby Sarasaurus to bring back Pankratops so strong, and then activate the Baby Sarasaurus effect in order to get a copy of Miscellaneousaurus from deck. If you have Nibiru, now is the time. There is not going to be a better opportunity. Ooh. Well, here's a better opportunity. We're going to battle phase to play around Effect Failure, of course, but Utopia Double locks this bad boy out. Double or nothing. Oh, it's got to be something very particular to get out of this, but not even Infinite Impermanence does it from this position. Oh, man. Skyhawk going to battle phase, going to negate his own attack with the effect of number 39 Utopia, and then activating... Oh, double or nothing from hand to set it to 10,000, and no! It triggers the Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi! Skyhawk, you forgot! Oh, no! Keck, wait! Oh, no! Oh, no! Well, this is really, really bad for Skyhawk. Not only now has he failed to win the game, he has also enabled his opponent to trigger the send effect of Abyss Glacia, which is just insane. He's gone for Dragoons into heavy infantry to bring it back. Oh man, what a disaster! And Regeki getting Regeki'd in 2020 for lethal! Alright, well, as I said earlier, Skyhawk is nothing else if not a stoic player. If there's anyone who could bounce back from this position, it's the boy. He'll hopefully, play this as best he can. He is not out of it by any means, unless Neptibus, the Atlantean prince, comes down. Oh, God. There's Goons, and there's Droll Lockbird. That's a pretty good one, actually. Alright, so there's Mermail Abistius. And Abistius, of course, can attack, I suppose. Can do nothing in this scenario, as they are under Droll. So how many dinos do we have in the graveyard? It should be several. Going into Miss Starboy again. Now, you saw this against Peeps. It's the backup plan. We're just going to keep recycling that Neptibus until the game ends. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we have way more than enough to just Miscellaneousaurus for a Soul-Eating Oviraptor here, which is likely going to be enough regardless. But this is... wow, this is just a real Reddit moment. We're playing a game that should no longer exist. If an Ash Blossom comes out here, I mean, Skyhawk might actually lose. There's Oviraptor. We'll activate Oviraptor's effect. Do we still have enough guys in Graveyard to just go for the big boy? I think we do. 1. No, we don't. We have 1. Oh, you know, we could try Utopia again. How many copies of Double or Nothing do you think he's on? I'm doing a wonderful job being unbiased. No, I am not. Unless that's the meme, in which case, yes, you're correct. So we're going to destroy Petit Pteranodon here in order to special back Pankratops for the millionth time. Just being able to recycle Pankratops in this deck is just absolutely massive. This Petit Pteranodon will turn into a huge Dungus, who unfortunately won't be able to attack. We're going to probably Tribute Pankratops to destroy this guy. And then, can we win from this position? There's gotta be a way. Are you on Gaga Cowboy? Oh, wow! And as the Pankratops comes down, so does Nibiru. Skyhawk, you should have made Logia first. With, shockingly, not enough defense to withstand the rock. Whoa! Luscious is in an incredibly commanding position here. Like, that might actually be the end of the game. How many Oviraptors are left? There's 1 banished. There's 1 in the graveyard. Oh, well, the last card in hand is Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Hey, well, sometimes that happens. I guess he'll get over the rock for 500 and pass it back. Oh my god, this is so pogged. Alright, well, if any deck can win from this position, it's Normal Summon Neptibus. Going to be a little bit harder with an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno on the field, but still could happen. Still could happen. Oh, he's going to set 1 card. Can't set with Ultimate Conductor Tyranno if I've already set. And somehow it looks like Skyhawk is never going to be punished ever for his misplays. God dang it, come on. Oh, man. Well, at least he switched to the token to attack position. And it looks like after all that, Skyhawk has walked with it. Oh man, that was a game. I mean, it wasn't like a good game, but it was a game all right. Congratulations to Giant Skyhawk. We all knew you could do it. He's an extremely good player. Really, really good with this deck. I think he's like top 10 dueling book playing, like one-tricking this right now. But just an immense showing. that's going to be it from me. Thank you all for coming by today and sharing this little journey with me. I had a ton of fun. This has given me a lot of lessons about how we could potentially run one of these in the future. Shouts out to everyone who participated, but really shouts out to Giant Skyhawk for, of course, taking it home with Paleozoic Dino and choosing an upcoming 10-minute testing along with one of my Nats Mats and a sub or something. To Luscious with Mermail, I would never have expected such a low-tier deck to make it so far, but you made it look a lot better than I think it secretly is. Sam K. Soon 321 with Invoked Mech Knight, just an unreal tear. And in 4th place, the 3rd/4 has now been considered, or has now been determined, Peeps Yu-Gi-Oh! With Trains. Again, follow Peeps on twitch.tv/PeepsYGO. Incredibly cool person, great player, and really, really, really did well.